Okay, folks, welcome back to the Divine Healing channel. Honestly, Spirit is not going to let me sleep today. This has really been a reading that's been going on for, I think now going into 4 days, I think. It's now like after 1 o'clock in the morning. I tried sitting out under the stars just to get some fresh air, to try to the readings have been very intense, but Spirit is just basically telling me that they really just, excuse me, they wanted to bring in an apology and thought that it would be a good time to also do, let me turn this on. What the? Oh, there we go. They kept saying to me when I was doing the last reading, they kept saying, look at the light, look at the light. And I didn't know what they were talking about because, I mean, yeah, I see the light. It's cool. I see the light. But then when I saw the video, I could see how it was like shooting up the wall in a beam. And they said that is what they want you to do on your crown, like on the top of your head. That's how they want you to open the top of your head with this white light to reach. Oh my God. You wouldn't believe this if I even told you. Just like that card, you wouldn't believe me if I told you. Okay, so they're saying, okay, let me finish the light, Spirit. Okay, so they're saying that if you envision this white light on the top of your head, that God can then connect more light into you, because that would open you for messages. And the way this light, I don't know if you can catch that on camera, but it goes up like this and it looks like angel wings. It's freaking me out. I mean, I don't even know what to say. This whole thing has been just freaking me out. Because I always knew that I was connected, and if I developed my gifts that it would be really awesome, but I didn't expect this. Oh, they're asking me to put my rings on. Okay, so holy moly. Okay, so they want me to start with the apology. And the apology is where? You want me to start with the apology? They said, yes, it's important. Okay, so when I was doing the last reading, and listen, I don't know if I'm completely here. My vessel is here, but my mind is kind of being taken over by the energies that are coming forward. And okay, so they want me to clear the space and also do my centering, because I did close out that last reading when I had to run to the bathroom. I was so I almost said thirsty, but I was so well, I was parched, but I really needed to go, because that reading went on for I think it was an hour and 30 minutes. It was something crazy time. Anyway, I don't even know why these readings are so long, but now I'm starting to understand why they were having me do these messages for such long periods, like my training. I always called it my classes or my training, that they would put me in these big long sessions, and I didn't really understand why, but now I think that I do, because they were preparing me for when the higher energies were going to be able to come and deliver this message for you, because these messages, clearly you must understand at this point that they are divine messages directly from God. And they wanted me to talk about Jesus as well, but I will do that in a minute, Spirit. You're kind of shut me. There's so much that they want to get out, and they said that they've waited so long for me to finally be online. I don't know what any of this means. I don't really understand a lot of this. I mean, I am learning this as you are watching this. This is my journey that they asked me to tape. So this is really what started all of this. They wanted me to document my awakening, my Kundalini. That's why they keep talking about the Kundalini tonight. This is my Kundalini awakening, and you're going to get to watch it. Because, okay, that's why they're, okay, so I don't know, it's been, okay, so I'm on like 4 days of reading the same, like it's like a continuation, so just forgive me is what I'm asking. Forgive me if I get these confused, but there was in one of the readings, and then they keep talking about that card that said stop. It was the word in the stop. I remember holding it up, and I don't remember which reading that was in. It was just a few back, a couple 2 days ago for me. But see, you guys are getting like them in like double, like part 1, part 2 is being uploaded. Like I do part 1 and then I do part 2 like right after, because I'm doing the entire reading and then I'm splitting it into 2 because 1 is just too intense for people. I mean, it's not that intense for me because they've been like using all this stuff to train me since they keep pushing the word March in my face, in my mind. Okay, so anyway, they want me to get into this, and they also, because the perseverance, they wanted me to talk about the perseverance card. They said, they actually told me when I looked it up, when I was shuffling, they told me to take better note of it, but they want me to pay a little bit more, closer attention to certain things that they're trying to show me, because but it's just so many messages. I just get overwhelmed. But this card perseverance kept coming out, and they wanted me to talk about it, but I really had to go to the washroom and I really needed a drink, and I was afraid that my camera was gonna like die on me, or run out of the SD card was gonna run out. Actually, yes, they just told me I need to check that. Sorry, please hold on. I'll be right back. Okay, folks, I am back, and I'm glad that I did that, because they were telling me that I was going to run out of space on my SD card, because a lot of the videos that I had already done and uploaded, I had put them in the trash bin, but if I leave them in the trash bin, it still takes up room on my SD card. And so I had to delete what was in the trash bin. So I'm glad that they brought that up. So thanks, Spirit. Okay, so this is what they want. They want me to just cleanse, because I did close out the last reading. And they just want me to do this. So I'm going to just light this up again. And I'm just going to center, as they call it. So I call upon universe consciousness of the highest realms for the highest good of humanity to work through me. Allow me the privilege to channel for only the purest light of source. Allow me to channel in a way that also serves my highest good. I ask for the universe protection from negative energies, and I call upon Mother Earth Gaia to ground me and connect to source through me. It just doesn't want to burn. I don't know what that is. Okay, Spirit Team, I'm ready if you are. I just heard ready. Always ready is what I heard. Okay, so so they wanted me to talk about this well, actually not they. It was an individual. Okay, so I channel different energies during a reading from different energies. That's why they asked me to call that in, because it's an invitation for anyone that wants to deliver a message that they have knowledge about or something. I can't really understand what that means. So, okay, so what they wanted me to do is, okay, so they brought out the acceptance card. They asked me to bring out perseverance out of this deck. When I put everything away, they had asked me to shuffle, and then they popped out perseverance again and asked me to talk about that. And then they immediately brought out acceptance and said, we need you to go back and finish the reading. And I'm like, I thought we were done the reading. And they're like, no, we're not, because you didn't talk about the things, like all the things that we needed to say. So I understand what they're talking about, because there was so much information that I was kind of just, I mean, I had to take a break too, so maybe I should have just done that. But anyway, so they want me to do this apology for the churchgoers, because this ancestor of mine, he came in to deliver the message when it come to the church and the people that attend church. And this is why he said, so I was channeling him, and he said when he gave me, so they imprint on my mind. It's like, the best way I could put it is like it's like they put it in my mind, and then it unfolds, the whole story unfolds within like a second or two. So I very rapidly can understand what they're talking about. It's just that when I have a lot going on, and I mean, they can communicate faster than I can relay the message, is basically what I'm trying to say. So when he gave me the information, he gave me the impression that he was a very big church person. So he wasn't trying to insult you. He wasn't trying to, because what they're saying is this message is coming from a place of love, and only ever a place of love. So he did not mean for it to come out as like an insult to you. So, but he does, and this is where I'm going to explain why he said the words bubble thumper. And I did call him out on that and said, no, we're not going to do that. And he thanked me for that and wanted me to go into it. But there was just, the other message was just so important at the time. But he knew he had offended many people. So he wants to explain his side of it here. And I see, and that was the thing, because it started to take me off the message, because I had to stop and ask, like, do you really, like, because the impression he gave me, I didn't know if that's something that he wanted me to talk about. So I didn't want to address it, like, without asking first. And I mean, it would have just slowed down the reading. So I guess it's slowing it down, because now I got to talk about it. So he was telling me that he was a very big church person. He went to church. He was a very big part of the church. He used to do all the things for all the congregation. He used to do a lot for the leaders of the church. He said he even used to mow the lawns and shovel the steps. Like, that's how much of, like, he used to put the Bibles out. He did everything. He was very, all for his whole childhood. And I don't really know why that is. Like, maybe he was, and then he gave me the impression about minister, but maybe his father was a minister or something. Anyway, okay, so we're just not gonna touch that. But he was saying that he was a really big church person, but he was abused by the leaders of the church. And that's why I had to ask if he was okay with me talking about that. And he said, so he is jaded about it. He said, I heard, and this is where I heard the big word stop. And it reminded me of the card that came up in the other reading. And it was like the word stop, and it was like big letters on I think it came from the big deck. Anyway, he says, don't believe, this is what I heard, don't believe everything that is in the Bible. I heard trust in God, not a church or a book. Always ask questions. And then he had me hyphen and then write elephant and underline it a couple times. So elephant, they brought that up before, and they made reference to like the elephant in the room. That was a couple days ago. One of those readings, elephant came up, and then it came up the next day. But I didn't touch base on the elephant because I wasn't really, so I don't know if he wanted to talk about that, the church, and how people believe every word in the Bible. And he said that you can't do that. You shouldn't do that because you're being deceived. That's intense. Okay, and then they wanted me to talk about Jesus and Yeshua. They said that, oh, he was the one that said challenged, accepted. And that's why that he said okay, that was amazing because he said that the crackling of that Palo Santos thing. And you know what? That's the same one, but now it won't light. That's bizarre. Okay, I'm going to be a little clanky because I did stir my tea here. I had to make a cup of tea. Oops, sorry. Didn't mean to do that. I don't want it to get cold. And you know, I'm gonna have to tell you too that, like, I haven't been really sleeping and I haven't been really eating, and they told me it's because they're purging me, and I don't really understand what that means. Oh, is that why I'm getting cramps? And you know, I every now and again get really bad diarrhea, but sorry, I didn't want to talk about that. But good Lord. But they said it's part of my purging. Okay. So that might be a thing that you guys might go through too. I'm trying to be quiet because everybody's sleeping. It's middle of the night. Okay. Let's see here. What is it that you wanted from me? I can't remember. Yeah, they wanted me to talk about the last video about my leg, and then the book about being mindful, and how it read about you could feel things in your body, and how that's how they wanted me to explain how, like, you get that. And that's why they were talking about, like, your solar and your sacral, and they're talking about all your chakras so much. And that's why I noticed that, like, it's green and then it goes blue and purple. So, like, green is your heart, blue is your throat and third eye, and then the purple is your crown. And then they're talking about, and then, like, in the cards they're talking about all the lower energies. So they're talking about your base chakra, they're talking about your sacral chakra and your solar chakra. So they are pulling, like, all the chakras in to try to get you to understand, like, to educate yourself, like you can go into. And that's why they're bringing up Buddha. You know what? This is like worldwide. They keep telling me worldwide. There's so many messages here that I'm just getting really overwhelmed again. But they're saying how, like, they made that cramp in my leg. They wanted to show you how they could manipulate the energy, and how they can trigger, like they triggered that in my leg in real time, because I was reading that mindful book, and they wanted to show just another example of how this is so real, because they needed to show you something in real time. And because after the reading, they apologized to me for the cramp in my leg, because it was very painful. And I mean, it's completely gone now. And you know what I mean? Like, they did release it. Like, they did. I mean, while I was standing, you know, it was there. But when I sat down, like, it just kind of went away, because they knew what okay. Spirit. They have too many things coming at me at the same time, but they feel the urgency of this. Okay, Spirit, just one thing at a time. Okay, so they wanted to show you the real time. Okay, and we talked about Jesus. Yes. Okay, so they wanted to talk about the Palo Santo stone, and I got or stick stone. I don't know what that means. Because they were saying, like, that's why when it crackled, and then it came up with the card that a being was going to come, a high vibrational being, multi-dimensional being. Yes, thank you, Spirit. They keep mentioning that multi-dimensional. When that being was going to that was the trigger of that being coming in. And that being, they're telling me, was Jesus, Yeshua. They're telling me Yeshua came in because he's the one that said in the previous reading, he said, when it came out about prove us wrong, God said, prove us wrong. And he said, it was Yeshua that said, challenge accepted. And that's why in that moment with that stick doing that, that was him. And that's why it came up in a reading a couple readings ago, or so for me it was like the day before or something, or the day before that, it came up Yeshua, it came up Lord, thank you, Spirit. It came up King of Kings, Lord of Lords, or Lord of Lords, King of Kings. King of Kings, Lord of Lords. And that is the reference that when that card come out, that told me that Jesus was here, that Yeshua has stepped in to have a hand in that reading. I didn't realize, though, that he was going to be back. He said Saint Germain is here too, and that's why they kept bringing up the card about the purple and the lilac and the violet flame card. That was from a few readings back, because he said that was Saint Germain. Okay, so then, yeah, so this is like really freaky. So after the last reading, when I come from the washroom, they downloaded all these numbers to me. So the numbers were 345, 444, and that actually came out in that reading. Okay, I'm just going to keep going. 555, 33, and number 7, 222, 44, 555, and 333. So they are, okay, and then they had asked me to write down, I had to go back into my YouTube channel and find out, well, their YouTube channel actually, and find out how they wanted me to, at the end of part 2 of Heal 1% Creates a Ripple, in part 2, if anyone come across that video in part 2, they wanted me at the end of it, which I did, list all of these, which is Be Prepared, Get Prepared, Dare to Be Different, the 4-part series, God Says Prove Us Wrong, part 1 and 2, Heal 1% Creates a Ripple, part 1 and 2. They want me to add that at the end of the part 2 of this one, the Heal 1%, which I did. And then they also brought, okay, so they brought this out after, but I was, my niece had made these beautiful pictures of her family, and my sister had showed me when I was like, I was trying to talk to her because like the messages are so amazing that I am like really overwhelmed, and I kind of like cried for a little bit, but when I sent her a message about how beautiful the pictures were, and I was so happy for her that she has this like beautiful little family, and there's so much love for her with them, and that just makes me so happy for her. Anyway, she sent me a message. I was waiting for the video to upload. I think I was exporting it out of CapCuts to be able to load it. So I was kind of just waiting for it, and I was just waiting for it to do its thing. And she sent me a message, and I looked over, and I had to pick up my phone, and I always have to, like, I have a code on my phone, and when the numbers came up, it came up 000, but I couldn't see the 1, and I looked for the 1, and I couldn't like see it, and I was like, well, that's weird, what's going on with my phone, like what's wrong with the time? And then they're just like, write that down, and I went 000, and I underlined it because I'm like, this is significant, but I don't know what that means. And then a little bit later, I saw it when so it was around 10 o'clock, because it would have been like 10 o'clock when she sent me the message, because I then after I wrote that down, I went back and I double checked it, and it was actually 10 o'clock. And I'm like, why couldn't I see the 1? But anyway, it didn't matter. Anyway, so when I finally went and checked the message, it was 10:10 on the phone. And then when I started to do this reading, it was 111. Again, the numbers. Anyway, and then so I was starting to look at the video before I released it to go on to YouTube. And it reminded me of the card 4321. And that because I didn't know what the 3 zeros meant. And then I was like the countdown, and it's like a restart, 000. I keep checking to make sure that. So then it was like, okay, so yeah, that kind of like surprised me. And then with the perseverance card, and then they said you wouldn't talk about it the other day, and the delay card kept coming up. I think it was yesterday's reading. The delay card kept coming up, and I didn't talk about it because, I mean, like I said, there was so much coming at me, but so they're trying to get me to kind of go back a little bit, because that's why they said that comment about back up the bus, because they wanted me to go back, but I didn't go back far enough apparently. So they're talking about perseverance, and that perseverance, they asked me to bring that card out, and they said that's why that perseverance card kept coming out so much. They wanted me to talk about it. And but they're saying okay, that's why, because they're saying like the perseverance, like if you go back to the video that I just uploaded from, okay, so now I'm into, I don't know what day I'm in. I'm going to say the 3rd. I'm going to say the 3rd of December. It could be the 4th. I don't know. All my days are blending. Oh, it could be I think I'm on the 4th now. No, maybe I'm on the 3rd. I don't know. So the one that is about the heal the 1%, whenever I uploaded those part 1 and 2, the perseverance in part 2 kept coming out, and it says, I know that I can do whatever I set my mind to. But that came out in reverse because it was saying how the perseverance, I'm getting cramps in my hands now, that the perseverance, it's the energy, it's kind of cramping me up, that you guys needed to be in the perseverance, and some weren't in that. Some are. See, some people, everybody's at different stages is what they're telling me. Everybody's at different stages of healing. Everybody's at different stages of awakening, because it has to be that way. And that's why they keep talking about the ripples, because when you heal, it creates a ripple, and then it helps other people to heal. So then it just keeps going, and the ripples just keep going and going. Do you understand what I mean? That's how they're explaining it to me. Anyway, so they're saying that the perseverance came out this way, and they're saying that when I was trying to do the last 2 readings about heal 1% creates a ripple, when I was doing that, the first part, I was interrupted over and over repeatedly. I was being repeatedly interrupted on purpose, and Spirit was the one doing that. And like I said, they always do it for our highest good, and they do it out of love. So these messages are all coming from love. Don't ever get these messages confused with negativity, because it is nothing but love here. And so they're saying that this is actually Jesus speaking right now. So okay, so Jesus is saying that the perseverance was that, and the delay, that's what they were trying to explain, was that like all those interruptions, that I didn't allow it to upset me. I just went with the flow. Like I just like kept saying, okay, I'll be right back. Oh, okay, I'll be right back. Oh, okay. And like I didn't let it get to me. And that's what they're trying to talk about. Like they're trying to say, like, you just, like when you hit all these little, not even little, when you hit these roadblocks they're talking about, they keep talking about the road and path. And yeah, they even brought this up, and they're talking about the journey here too, and they're calling it wandering path. And then the other card came out in the last reading that was called Wandering Road. Anyway, okay, so getting off. So that's what they were talking about. They were talking about my the interruptions and how I didn't let it get to me, and that I just kept persevering. And that's what you need to do if you want to heal and be with God and Jesus. Okay. All right, Spirit. Okay, I covered all that. Okay, I covered all that. Okay, so now they want me to get into the cards. No, actually, oh my God, you just wouldn't even believe this. They told me that I had to go in behind, like, because I write things down. Look, and they're all the fives. Look, they're talking about these fives. This is around October 18th, a nature walk. And I found a dead snake on the road. And I think I talked about that. Oh no, I couldn't because I couldn't record it. Or I did record it, but the messages become more important, so I had to delete them. So maybe that's why they... Oh, look, and they're talking about that stop. Oh, yeah. Okay. Slow down, Spirit. Whoa, wow. Okay, look at this. See, okay. I wasn't even on this. This isn't even what I marked, but they're telling me to look. They're talking about like 4-4, look, 3-3. They're talking about, look, the 4-4, 3-3, 1-2-1, 10-10. They're talking about all these numbers again. Look, 4-4-4. And look, 10-10 down here, 1-2-3, 1-4-4, 4-4, 3-2-1. I mean, these numbers are just repeated, but they're talking about here. See, look, it's even talking about the dragonfly and the bees. This has all been the message over and over. I just didn't understand all the messages, but they were leading me all, and they're talking about times, and dragonflies, because the dragonflies were landing in my hair. And this is like, this is October. So this is like in October, they were even landing in my hair. They were landing in my hair all summer. And I didn't understand what any of that meant. And that's why because I wanted to use a butterfly for my picture. And they were like, no, we want the dragonfly. And they kept putting dragonflies in my hair. I didn't know what that meant. Okay, so they want me just to talk about this a little bit because they're saying it has significance, and I don't really understand. Oh my God, I'm just going with the flow. Listen, this is like real time stuff happening right now. So nature walk, okay, it says October 18th. Oh yeah, continued. Oh yeah, this was October 17th when I was talking about the dragonflies in my hair. So on the 18th, I went on nature walk, and it said, on my way home, I found a dead snake on the road, more than halfway across. And then you know what? A few weeks before that, or a week before that, I saw a snake on a log, and my dogs were sniffing around. They didn't even see it, and the snake was like hiding, but I could see it, which was weird because I wasn't even looking for anything. I was just kind of standing there, and all of a sudden my eyes like zoomed in, because I think that was the day that there was an eagle or something in that, and it made me, when the eagle shows up, it makes me... Oh, I know why. Because it was telling me about Private Eyes, the song Private Eyes. So I was doing a reading about the private eyes. So that my eyes, they were telling me about my eyes, to focus in with my eyes that day, about the snake. Okay, anyway, but getting off. Okay, so I found a dead snake on the road, more than halfway across. Yeah, across the road, yeah. I was upset because I think it was the same snake that was on the log. Then a few moments later, a caterpillar was crawling off the road. So it was telling me that there was going to be a death and a transformation. That's what I thought. And then another 200 meters or so, there was a dead bird at the stop sign on the road. And then, but the road, you could only go left or you could go right. However, left is a dead end and stop is death. So right is the way out. So I was like, what does this all mean? And then I was like, It all has a meaning. I am sure of it. So death and transformation, stop means death, or wrong way, or wrong way out. It's the wrong way out, or the right way out. So when I hit this, because it was literally at the stop sign, and I'm like, what is going on right now? And then it said, then my mind went to the cycle of life, birth, and life, death, rebirth, and so on. So if you don't transform, life ends as you know it. Jesus, Spirit. Jesus, what the hell are you saying? And then it's like all the fives. And then the fives, I didn't know what all those fives meant. So I started looking them up, and it says I put down transformation, hashtag, I think. Transformation, it's 5 transformation. They're telling me to get my number book, because I think that's what that means, the number book. Spiritual meanings of numbers. Yeah, this one, I think it's transformation. It's this book here. And I don't know why I always have that page marked. I mean, what's that? Is that page? It's going to be curious now. Chapter 7, manifestation with angel numbers. I've never read this, though. I never read this book. I should, though. I mean, I just kind of look up the numbers every now and again. That's when Spirit asks me to. See all these fives here. What is 5? Oh, maybe 5. Positive or negative change and challenges. Yeah, they keep talking about the balance. And to take care of yourself. And don't be afraid. See, they're actually, that's what, oh my God, Spirit. 5's energy may cause you to spiral out of control. Without physical and spiritual balance, the transitions of 5's energy may cause you to spiral out of control, drawing on the power of 1